Hey guys, welcome back to Bros Think Big. This is the show where we talk about the simple and yet complicated ideas of self-improvement. Tune in and join us as we become the best versions of ourselves so that you guys can too. Remember to like and subscribe for more. Today, we have an interesting episode for you guys. Our co-host, Georgi, is back. Come on in, Georgi. Huh? Oh shit, Georgi! Alright, Georgi, let's
Hello.
go.
Bros think big.
What's up, bro?
Yo.
Yeah, bro.
How you
Much
been,
better,
man?
Right?
How you doing, Georgi?
Good.
Much better.
Good.
Much better. Let's go. I missed this, bro.
Let's go.
Missed you guys.
Just us for this time. No
Excited.
Sasha.
No, Sash. He'll be back, guys. He'll be
I
back.
came now, he left.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Alright, so today it's pretty much gonna be we're gonna be interviewing Georgi, kind of like what he experienced going back to Georgia. And Georgi, why don't you tell us why you went back to Georgia?
Okay, yeah, I went to Georgia because to practice, I have one of the biggest tournaments coming up. So I just wanted to prepare there better because, you know, it's more popular there, judo.
Right.
So it's like to get stronger and get better.
So what's the big goal that you're preparing for?
US Open. It's
Right.
going to be in July. I'm going to try to get first place there.
Where's that gonna be at?
In Florida.
In Florida.
Yeah.
And when? What did you say? It was
July. End of July.
July?
Yeah,
Oh,
usually every year they make that tournament. And actually when other countries can compete there too, like from
Mhm.
different, you don't have to be a citizen of US to compete. Yeah, so it's one of the
Yeah.
biggest tournaments.
I
They-
really
they
actually
have
wanted to
a
ask you since you went away, like why judo in the first place? Like let's go like all the way back. Like why judo in the first place? Why are you taking this so seriously? Like what is your why?
Yeah, so my dad introduced us to judo, so he always
You
wanted.
and Sadula, right?
Yeah, me and Sadula, yeah. So when we were 8, that's when we first started judo. And then at first, to be honest, I didn't like it because my dad was really going hard on us. Because there was people that were better than us that did judo for longer, and he expected us to beat them, and we were like kind of, you know, he was like hard on us and stuff with judo. I didn't really like it at first, but then I started, you know, getting better, improving. So I really loved, you know, judo. So it's like my goal to win Olympics. Right, that's my career basically.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it'd be different if your dad pushed you in another sport, or is it just because like of how judo makes you feel?
Okay, I think if our dad didn't choose to do judo, I'd probably play soccer because like soccer is the second sport that I really often play and I really like playing. But as of right now, like judo is really like one of the sports that I really love to do. I mean, even for example, if I skip a week because of the injury or whatever, I miss it so much that I can't live without it. Like.
What do you think like you love about those sports in general? Is it the fact that you're competing? Is it the fact that it's like what is it about it?
Dude, I think competing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And challenge yourself to be number one.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah, it is a one-on-one battle too, so you're not really relied on the team as much, and it's really like just one-on-one.
Yeah.
What happens if you do finish first at this Open?
Then
Is there, like, a prize, or is
so
it like...
yeah, so I get points. So every national tournament you go to, you get points. Then I'm planning on going because there's another tournament in November. So I'm gonna go in August, beginning of August, train and prepare again for November. Come back, and that's my plan basically, to go in Georgia, train there, come back and beat everybody's ass here. So.
I know we were talking before about how judo isn't really that talked about in the U.S. It's not really like that
It's
big
not
of a
popular,
sport.
yes.
And so, what is the reason that you went to Georgia in the first place? Is it because
That's because why? Because it's popular and I mean there's more clubs, more people to train with. It's harder practices. It's every single day. Here it's 3 times a week, and then there it's every day except Sunday. So Sunday's the only rest day you get,
Yeah.
and it's twice a day too. Like twice a day you have to
Every
go
day.
in the morning and night. But I was doing 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you were down there, I mean, what was like the experience like training every single day? Like, what did your daily schedule look like?
Okay, so first practice was 6:30 in the morning. Then I get home, you know, eat, take shower. Then you know I would sleep, and then afternoon was another practice.
You
I
take
would
a
go
nap
to.
before the
Yeah,
seconds?
take a nap. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then another practice I would go to, which would be at 2:00, sometimes 3, but like 2-3 o'clock, and then come back home, eat, and then another practice at 7. And that was literally my schedule. Come back, sleep, eat, and
Mhm.
repeat.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I enjoyed it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that you might think that it's like, yeah, it's boring. Just, you know, train, come back, eat, you know, not even going out, having fun. But for me, that was the fun part. you know,
Mhm.
improving and getting better and training.
Yeah, that's right. Because a lot of the times people have this understanding of fun to go out, drink with friends, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So I'm pretty sure you had moments where you were tempted to go out, drink. They would invite you. Like, how would you react?
Not really. No, I
No?
wasn't really tempted. You see, that's the thing. I don't know. I wasn't tempted, but there was a situation where they would be like, "Yeah, let's go," because I had a BMW. So in Georgia, a lot of people actually they love BMWs. If you see every Georgian drives a BMW, and then you were like, plus I'm young. I have a BMW. I have my own car basically. And then they were like, "Yo, let's go out. Drive around. Let's pick up some girls." But
Mhm.
I did. That wasn't my goal. That wasn't my intention. I was there for one purpose only, to train and prepare for the tournament.
Mhm.
So I was really kind of saying no to that, and I mean it wasn't hard because I knew my purpose of being there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, did you have days where like you would rather just do nothing? Like, did you have days like
Yes,
where
I was-
it just sucked?
Yes, I was like, dude, I have to go to practice because I was tired.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to push myself over that. Especially first few weeks were really hard because I wasn't used to the training there. It was very intense. But here it was like much easier, the practices. But there it was really intense. So like first couple of weeks I was dead at the practice. I couldn't breathe. It was really hard. To the point where you go like, yo, I just want to quit. Like I don't want to do this anymore. But then you push yourself to, you ask yourself, why am I here? You know what I mean? And then you start,
So
getting
the why
motivated
really
yourself.
keeps you going.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I know we also talked about how it's different from Georgia versus the US competitiveness wise, right? Like you said, like explain the experience that you kind of the differentiation
Yeah,
between
so-
the two.
A lot of the people in Georgia are very competitive. It's like every single thing they do is they always try to compete with each other. It's less competition here, and also with the coaches, right? They're more hard on you when you lose the tournament. Here, when you lose the tournament, they go, "Yeah, good job, bud. You get it next time. You did good." But there, if you lose a tournament, the coach goes more hard on you. They go like, they tell you the exact reason why you lost. They tell you, "Well, you don't work out 3 times a day. You don't work out twice a day. You don't. When you come to practice, you're not doing your best." That gives you the reality check every single day, and I mean every single tournament you compete too. To reason why you're losing. But here, even if you get a third place, you're still considered like good athlete. But there, you're not considered a good athlete unless you get first place. You have to be champion. You have to be number one. That's like, and that builds your character to try to be number one and always be the best. You're always gonna want to be the best there.
Right.
Do you have any like interesting stories about
Oh.
like any type of climaxes that happened, like any type of like turning points during your journey?
Like, when did you
There's a
first
lot, yeah.
understand that something changed in your character or in your performance?
Yeah, what were the
Yeah,
turning
okay,
points kind of?
Okay, so when I went in Georgia, right, after 2 weeks, there was a 10 days training camp, and there's
10 weeks?
yeah, well, no,
So
10
10
days,
days.
10 days, yeah.
And this
It was
happened
after 2 weeks.
after 2 weeks you went there.
Yes.
Okay.
So I kind of had like time to prepare and get in the rhythm,
Yeah.
and stuff, but it was still really hard. And those training camps are usually, like in winter time, and then summertime. So it's like twice. And obviously I went winter time, and it was snow. When we had to run in the snow, it was like cold outside, and we had to run in those weathers and work out. And it was 3 times a day too. It was morning, afternoon, and then night. And the hard part about it was, I wasn't, because we had to like climb and run up the mountains and stuff, and I wasn't used to that. But all these people were like, they go every year there. They know, like they know what to expect and stuff. And dude, it was really hard. I mean, think about it. You have to climb up the mountain. I'll show you guys videos after too. It's like
And
really,
it's
really
one of the
high
steepest
one of the highest
mountains, yeah.
And then the hard part about it was, I was like the weakest one there. There was people that were like really, really strong compared to me. And then like I'd be like, I'm a loser compared to these guys, But I mean, I was still competing. The interesting part about it was, I was actually pushing myself more than they were, though. You know what I mean? So like some people, yeah, they would. So we had a goal to go up the mountain 3 times. Some people would go one time and they would just come back down and leave. The coach would think, yeah, they probably went 3 times. But I couldn't do that and lie to the coach and lie to myself, be like, yeah, I went 3 times, but I didn't. I would always go 3 times. I would even go to the hotel right when they would start eating, so I would be late to the meal, but I was still getting my job done. You know what I mean? those kids, even if we had to go up 3 times. We had they only had time to go up twice, right? They wouldn't do that one last time to miss that meal or whatever. But I was sacrificing that to get that goal done. Whatever my coach was telling me. Today we're doing 3 times. I would go do 3 times. He would tell me you have to do 1 time. I would go do 1 time. You know what I mean? So I was really listening to him, and I was trusting in what he would tell me, because I was trusting him that he was gonna make me a better athlete.
So when you do say that if he was going to tell you to do it once and you would do it once, like what do you mean by that?
My example to that is like whatever he would tell me is what I would do. But I don't mean.
So
like,
trusting his plan?
Yeah, exactly. So like when he would tell us, you guys have to do 3 times,
Right.
and the weather was crazy there.
Right.
I mean, you probably think like, what is this guy crazy? How are we gonna do 3 times? But I was still gonna do 3 times. What I meant by that 1 time is like whatever he would tell me, no matter what it was and no matter how much it was, I was doing it.
Okay. That makes sense.
What if he told you 1 time, but you know you can do it 3 times?
Yeah, I would do it 3 times. Yeah.
Even if he told you to do it 1 time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you
maybe
said
it was a bad. Maybe I said it wrong.
yeah, it was
What
kind
I
of
meant
a
was
bad
like what he
example.
told me was what I would do. But sometimes there would be times where I know I felt like I could do more, and I would do more. Yeah.
But did you also mean he had it planned out, obviously, how he was going to train
how
you?
many times you
So
have to- yeah.
maybe he would tell you do it once, because then the training would be different some other times. But
Yeah, 'cause the
I
next
still
day we
feel
would do
like
more, yeah.
I still feel like that when it comes to that type of stuff, trusting coaches are one thing, but having the mentality to do extra,
Yeah.
even
I
more
said that
than what
really
the
bad,
coach said, yeah.
kinda.
But I do see where you're
Yeah.
coming from. But pushing yourself is definitely something that everybody needs to go through, because like not even your coach, not even your friends, nobody knows your limits. Only you do. So even if the coach sees you tired and you can't get up, you still know that you got the fire in you. And even if he tells you, hey, take a break, I don't want anything happening to you, you know in your head that you need to push through. Therefore, you have to do it.
Yeah. Of course.
It does piss me off when people do shortcuts like that. Like you were
Dude,
saying.
exactly, dude.
I remember in soccer tryouts my senior year, my keeper, he wasn't in the best shape, and we had to do 2 miles, which is on a track 8 laps, and he did 6 laps, just because he didn't want to do the last 2, and therefore it looked like he was in shape, and it's things like that that
Dude, yeah,
it
and
kind of it upsets you.
Yeah.
It tells you a lot about.
there
their
was
character.
shortcuts to that mountain. So there was one where it was like the hard way, like you just have to go up the mountain right away, and there was a path that was going like up, and it was obviously the path was longer, but it was easier to climb.
Right.
We had to climb up the snow that was like up to here. I mean, higher than these. You know what I mean? We had to climb up the mountain, and dude, my shoes were slippery. I kind of didn't. I wasn't really prepared with the shoes and everything. I mean, my feet was getting wet and stuff. And dude, they were better than me. They could run more than me. Their cardio was better and everything. But so the 3 times we had to go up twice on the mountain.
Yeah.
And then if we were really tired, he said just go up on that path.
Like
right?
the easy one,
Yes.
the third time.
But these guys, they would go up 1 time, and then the other 2 times they would just go up the path.
Okay.
But I went up 3 times on that mountain.
Okay.
The coach has said if you guys are tired, you can go 1 time on that path.
Right.
Right?
But all
I-
you did
I-
was 3 on
times
that.
on that. Exactly, yeah. Even though I couldn't do it, I was pushing myself, but they weren't pushing themselves.
Yeah.
That was the difference between me and them. And then, dude, actually, another interesting part is when I first went there, the people there, like, they were beating me and stuff, and the time I was coming back, I was actually beating them.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
From the training camp, right? So
From
10
the
days.
From the training camps, yes. And there was times, even on the practices, when the coach would tell us something, they would do the shortcuts and stuff, there and here and then.
Yeah.
Why do you think people
It's like-
shortcut themselves?
One thing I actually told Sadula about something in Georgia is that they don't value that it's really, like, the training there is really good. I feel like if they would come here and train, they'd probably be like, yeah, dude, we gotta take this chance that we're training here in Georgia. You know what I mean? A lot of people just, I don't know. I feel like
Take
they
things
don't-
for
I really
granted.
appreciate it,
yeah, they don't
appreciate
exactly,
it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go even before the journey, right?
Yeah.
I perceive it as you. I mean, you went to a whole fucking different country, somewhere you're not. You are familiar with it, right? You're
Mhm.
familiar with Georgia, but I mean, have you trained in Georgia before?
Yeah,
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, but it's been a
Every
long
summer,
time.
yeah.
Yeah. It's been a long time. That's scary as fuck to do. You had to get out of your comfort zone
It was, yeah.
because it was comfortable here. You said it. The trainings were easy.
Yeah, because
And
first
then
I had
you
to find a
decided-
club to
yeah.
go to and train, and
Yeah.
with whole
Well,
like,
think
dude, I
about it.
didn't know anyone there except for like 2,
You're
3
going
people.
3 days a week in America. Life is good.
Yeah.
And then you say, fuck it. I'm gonna go now train 6 days, 2 times a day. You did 3 times a day in a whole different country. That yeah, you may know some people, but you're also meeting a fuck ton of new people. That is scary as shit to even think of. Like just someone to do that. So what made you go past the line and say, "Fuck, just thinking about it"? Let's actually
Fucking
pull
losing
the
every
trigger.
tournament that I went to. Getting third place that I wasn't happy with. Sometimes those big national tournaments, I would just fucking be out. Lose 2 matches, you're fucking out. All that money, all that time for what? Nothing, man. That even though here I was also training 3 times a day, I still needed a coach that would teach me the right way. You know, give me
Guide you.
guide me exactly. And dude, here's the thing with judo. Even if you work out physically, it's still not enough. You need the techniques. You need that speed. You need those type of different workouts that were necessary to prepare for the tournament, which I wasn't getting here. And also it comes to training partners. I only had 2 partners that were my age and my weight that I could train with. But in Georgia, bro, there was like 10, 20 people that you could train with and have fighting outdoors with. But here it was only 2 people that I had to prepare with. So it was like, plus it was 3 times a week. So it was not enough at all.
Yeah, and experience is a big thing. You know, when you get to experience competing with different types of people, different styles, all that kind of stuff, you just learn way more things.
Yeah, and you compete with them. You don't know them. You're random. So what we do is,
Sorry.
what actually happens in Georgia a lot is, different clubs go visit each club. Like for example, my club visits your club, and sometimes you guys come to us, and it's like we switch knowledge and we switch that the experience and stuff. So when I'm fighting you, you're experiencing with different people, and there's like 20 people that you fight a day, and it's hard, you know.
Would you often compare yourself to other people?
No, I still had that mindset to, I wouldn't compare myself with them. I would compare myself with myself every single day. So it's like, did I get better?
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah. Mostly I would compete with myself, but obviously there was obviously I would compare myself with other people too, just to see where I was.
Mm-hmm. It's like you're in your own journey regardless. Like there's no
exactly.
What do you say?
I want to catch you on. You were saying there was no purpose when you were losing in America, those tournaments, like all this time wasted. I mean, it's not time wasted, right?
But it was because, like, for example, if I was preparing for a tournament for 3 months, I just go and lose to people that I know I can beat.
You got better.
Yeah, I did, but like I was still
But
like
also
moving
you should-
very slow, so
see,
it was kind of like waste
You
of time.
losing made you go out of your comfort zone
Yeah,
to
yeah,
even
but
go to Georgia. So it's not a waste of time. You should be blessed that happened.
yeah, obviously I'm also thankful that everything that has happened throughout my journey has happened for a reason, but it was still waste of time if you think about it. In those 3 months, I think I should have went to Georgia a little earlier. I mean, it would have been way better.
Mhm.
Should have realized that sooner, but it is what it is. But it was still a waste of time. Trust me. Like 3 months, paying $200 a month. You know how much I had to pay there? $25 a month. Think about it. And I'm paying $200 a month here. It's still a waste of money. It's still a waste of time.
And
I'm comparing the training here and there, and then
Compared to
I'm
that.
saying waste of time. That's
Okay.
why I said waste of time.
But I don't think anything ever is a waste of time. Well,
Not
there
completely.
is.
Yeah, not completely.
Not completely.
Okay.
Yeah.
But okay,
But
I see
still
what-
is
I
a
see
little
what
bit
you're
partially,
trying to
yeah.
Say,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, I kind of want to go back to the point that you made about delaying going there, because I know me and you had a conversation, and I would
Yeah.
actually bug you about going to Georgia, and I would, you know, keep telling you, yeah, you should go, and then you would be like, yeah, okay, but you would delay it. So I want to know, why were you delaying it? There was
Yeah, I
something
think-
holding you back,
Yeah.
and what was it?
I always wanted it. I think I was just not.
Committed?
I didn't have balls to go and get up and just fucking leave and be there by myself, because I was there because I went with my dad, and then he came back like a month after, so I had to be there for 6 months on my own. I had to eat, I had to make food, I had to clean
Wash
the
it.
house, I had to do everything by myself.
Were you living by
What? Yeah, I was.
yourself?
Even though I had my my dad's sisters would be coming over, and my aunt said they would be helping me out, but
Sure.
at the end of the day, I was still on my own, and it was hard. Anything I needed, I didn't want to, and I'm that type of person. I don't want to bother other people, so I was just like, even if I was struggling, and sometimes I would come back from practice, and you know, I just sleep. Like I was like, I'm lazy to make food, but at the same time, I didn't want to tell people, yeah, can you come and you know, make me food or help me out. You know, I was just not my thing. You know, I wanted to be there on my own, and I think it has taught me a lot of things. You know, it has taught me struggle. You know, I think
And
it's
get
it's
through things.
necessary, dude. I'm happy, and it's not as hard as I. It was hard, but I expected. I was always like afraid that it was gonna be like super hard, and I'm like, oh my god, if I go, like, what's gonna happen?
So
And
you
I
were
think
overthinking.
That was yeah, I was overthinking, and I think that's why I was delaying it. But I think I shouldn't have. It is what it is, though.
What'd you do like in your free time, like instead of like eating and
I was
sleeping?
going. So, I was in Tbilisi, the city, the capital of Georgia,
What's that like?
and then what? What do you mean?
Like, is it nice? Like, I don't know. I've never
it's
been
nice.
out the
It's
country.
beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's nice. Yeah. It's overcrowded, dude. Like just like New York.
Mhm.
But and then weekends I would be going to my village, and
Okay.
just being with my grandparents there because my grandparents are in the village, so I'd be going there, seeing them. There was other people that I was seeing in my village, so it was fun. Yeah.
It's light
Mhm.
orange in Europe, at least where I was.
I don't know.
No.
Dude, yeah.
You know
Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah. But
No.
is it a different brand?
Cold
No.
teas.
Or-
there,
No,
those?
no.
Cold
What?
tea.
It's the same
Cold
brand,
tea.
though, right?
No.
No.
I think it's Fanta. It's Fanta.
Yeah.
It's Fanta.
No, definitely. The drinks are different. I was just going to say that because
Even
Um,
water, dude.
Yeah.
I
Water
heard
tasted
they're
different,
taking
yes.
out
Yeah.
a lot of the ingredients in different countries from sodas, but here they're keeping it all in.
They're adding more.
Dude, they're adding
They're
more
adding more
here, and
to kill
European
us.
countries are taking
Yeah.
it out because they know that those substances are harmful for people and what it does, so they take them out, and that's relatively why people are more healthier.
But there's also there's a twist there. Sometimes they add more stuff in Georgia that causes other people to either have diabetes or whatever, to sell. So they have a business where they're
Right.
gonna add some like illegal shit in food to sell it to people, so they could make money.
Some shit that
I mean,
should be illegal.
I don't think it's easy. You can do that in America, but it's harder to do so.
Oh,
There,
okay.
it's less control.
Oh, okay.
Here, it's more control of you can start a business. Have they're gonna come check every single time. There, even if there's people that go around check, they still do the same just to sell something,
Okay.
which is also bad. But there's also a twist that they take out some stuff. So
Right.
it's like both in good and bad.
What about the lifestyle, like the environment? Because I know we were having a conversation, and
Yeah.
you told me that a lot of the teenagers there
Yeah.
drink, they smoke.
Dude,
Like a lot of them.
You see everyone
Probably
just
every
holding
single
a
one of them,
cigarette
right?
in their hand, all night. They're just out in front of the soccer field. Sometimes in the field they're just sitting down, playing with cards, drinking beer, leaving trash on the field, on the soccer field. It's like they're just trashing everything. Wherever they go, they just throw the trash cans.
In the city?
There are trash cans in the park, but what they do is they take the bottle and they put it next to the trash can. That's the weird thing I find.
Is this in the city?
Yeah, this is in the city. They do that in village too, but there's a lot of people in the city, so it's like more dirty there. Yeah, lifestyle. There's like, I feel like people have this excuse that there is no jobs in Georgia, so it's like, what should we do? But that's
You
not
can't
true.
get a job there?
You can, but people are just lazy. They're using this as an excuse.
Yeah, the jobs are harder to find, but at the end of the day, it really just comes down to people wanting to work. And when there's a will, there's a way. So you will always find a way to do something.
They have that excuse that there's no job, and then if I go work, the payment is like nothing. I mean, which is true. Yeah, you don't get paid as much, but at the end of the day, it's better than just
Sitting home and
walking
doing
around
it.
the streets and
Did you work at all?
what?
Did you work at all?
I did not. No,
No.
I didn't. No.
I'm curious what the work environment's like.
No, but if I wanted to, I could work. Yeah, I could find a job to do something.
Yeah, of course.
Were you ever like around a working environment where you had to maybe help out somebody in terms
Yeah,
of?
dude. My grandparents, like I said, they're in the village, so I'll just be going there, and I was helping them out.
Yeah.
Because they're already old, so
Yeah,
I would just
exactly.
be like helping them out. Yeah, which was also fun. I learned new stuff how to, do.
So what would you do?
different
What would you learn doing with the good? I mean, it is hard to explain, but
So in Georgia, you guys probably have heard that they make wine, right, out of the grape and stuff. So we have like a whole big ass place with
vineyard.
a vineyard. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
vineyard. So I was just going there, cleaning because there would be like long grass around the vineyard, so I had to clean that. There was some I don't know how to explain this stuff, but I was like,
Just explain the process. Like, what would you be doing? Is this where him speaking Georgian comes in and then I
Yeah, dude, can I
translate?
just say it in Georgian or something? No. Cut this, bro. I don't know how to answer this question, dude. I don't know how
What
to
was the
explain.
question?
What?
What
I
were
just
you
told him
doing,
what
dude? I don't
kind
know
of
how to
because he
explain
said
this.
he would help our grandparents and stuff with hard labor and stuff. What is it like? Maybe cutting.
What?
Pretty much farming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much, but I just don't know how to explain it in depth. I don't know.
Okay. But yeah, you were helping them farming.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's nice. I mean,
What's
what
one
else?
thing that you really learned from the experience? Like, looking back at it now, like, what's probably the biggest thing that you have learned? Now
That he
you
needs to
came
go back.
But he needs to go back. Like, what's the biggest takeaway from all of this?
I know there's a lot, but
First one that came to mind. What was the first
First
thing?
thought that popped up.
I don't know, dude. What's something that I learned?
Like, what's the biggest takeaway? Even though you learned so many things right now, you just
Mhm.
mentioned on the podcast, like being alone, going through the struggles, having
I
to
think
push
that's one of them.
yourself.
I
Like,
think-
what is the biggest one that changed you as a person? There's always one thing that changes you the most out of everything. One thing that you were
I think
always
people
lacking.
need to
And
struggle and sometimes even for a month be alone and just do everything on their own without help of their parents, nothing, just on their own
Right.
to learn to be dependent on themselves and get out of the comfort zone. That's
Easy.
probably one of the there you go. Get out of the comfort zone.
getting out of the comfort zone. Yeah.
Because I
Which is hard
know,
for
I
me.
know you and Sadula, like, you spent a lot of time with each other,
Yeah.
like, before you went away. Like, what was it like for you when you went away?
Dude, yeah, that was also a thing. I was, I'm used to that. I'm not alone. I'm in the house, so those always there. If I need something, I'm gonna ask him, and I'm sure it goes same with him. But it was also the fact that I had to be home all day by myself. I was with but here's the thing though, that was also good for me because I was spending more time with myself and I was getting to know myself more, what I was capable of doing. There was sometimes where I would be lazy, but I had to push myself
Because there was
to not
nobody
be
else.
lazy because there was no one else that could do what I had to do.
Like,
Right.
you could have been lazy. Like, you
Yeah.
could have just slacked off if you wanted to.
But see, that's the thing though. As much as I wanted to and I couldn't do it possibly. I mean, like I couldn't do it at all because if I didn't go out and buy some stuff from store, like I wouldn't be able to eat. So I had to do those stuff.
Yeah. Dude, sometimes, like, I always, like, how do you convince someone that they could always do more and they could always do better? And I feel like deep down, we all know when we could do better, that when we could, like, we know deep down when we haven't pushed past our limit, like, when we know we can have more, right?
Yeah.
Or we can do more. Like, a lot of times, like, even for me, like, nowadays, like, for some reason, I always have this, like, thought in the back of my mind of, you could always do better, you can always do more, you can always do more.
Right.
And I don't know if that's, like, a bad thing. I think it's kind of a good thing because it's always, like, pushing me towards that.
Yeah,
but
I think it's good.
it's
We
like,
always
it's
have
like
to-
why am I
blessing is-
not doing that in the first place? That's the thing. Why am I not actually emptying the can, like the can
Right.
of energy? Why am I not emptying? Why am I not going full throttle? And I just want to, like, do you guys ever have moments like that?
It's a blessing in disguise. I really do believe in that. Because if you should be very scared if you don't have it. If you are okay with where you're
Yeah.
at, it's not where you're gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have that thought that I need to do better, I can do better, what's gonna happen to you? It's pretty obvious. You're not
Yeah.
gonna fucking get better.
Yeah.
So it may sound like it's alarming. Fuck, that means I'm not doing enough. But you even acknowledging that means that you want to get better, and that's the most important thing. If you don't want to pursue something, you'll never do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said with the people without the jobs,
Yeah.
they can get a job, they just don't want to. At the
They're
end of the
comfortable
day,
where they are,
yeah.
and then they use lame excuses that there's no jobs, and then they don't have anything else to do, so they start lurking around the streets, smoking cigarette, playing cards, drinking beer, throwing the trash.
Correct me if I'm wrong, right? So I've had the blessing going to Europe
Yeah.
multiple times.
I mean, dude, even fighting,
multiple
like that's how they have fun. That's their fun, fighting with people. I've seen people stand in the streets, random people walk, like random guy that's passing in the park. They say, do you have a pack of cigarette or do you have one cigarette? And the guy says no. They start like shit with them because they're drunk and they pick fights to people, and that's their fun. Because when people don't have anything to do, they find a way to have fun and do something, and that's what's bad about it. It's like their life is like
miserable, so they try to
miserable,
make
so-
other people's
exactly,
lives. Yeah, I knew exactly what you're talking about.
I mean, you've been there. You know.
Yeah. So when I went to Europe, I think a lot of misconceptions, especially if you've only been in America, which unfortunately is multiple people, and
Me.
what, including you, you think that this is kind of like not necessarily the only way, but you've never seen the other side of the picture. You have no idea how different people live. And from where I went, I've never been to Georgia, so correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
but their lifestyle is not about, again, we're a very capitalistic society, which is you want it, you have to achieve it. You have to push for it. Where in Europe, it's more about just spending time with your family, enjoying your life. It's
Yeah.
not about being the best. That's it. If you want to be the best, you go to America. If you just want to live a lifestyle of peace, harmony, fuck how much money you make, just enjoy the time, have peace.
Yep.
That's what Europe's for.
That sounds fun. I'm gonna
But
book a flight to Europe.
It is.
Let's
is
go.
really
Let's
fun.
go. I'm going back in August. Planning. Let's go.
Let's
Taking
go.
you for a month.
Is that the same thing with Georgia?
It
and
is,
that
it
is
is,
what
yeah.
makes
Yeah.
them smoke.
Exactly.
It's because they don't really work that hard. They just want. It's not what they care about.
Yeah, but then what if
this
they
is,
don't wanna
this
work
is
hard?
this is what they
What?
care about. Long as this is their saying. A lot of the times they say, long as we're healthy, long as we have our family with us, we don't give a fuck about the money, because money isn't everything. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, we all know money isn't everything. But at the same time, they're out in the streets asking their even their family members, even their cousins, even their friends. They're like, yo, do you have $5? You could, $5 you can let me borrow. So it's like, they always ask for money, but they don't work for money, and then they say fuck money. It's nothing. It's not important. Like, yes, it is. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They
They
don't
say one
understand
thing
that.
but do the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think to go back to your question about like emptying the can and stuff. When do you feel that the most? 'Cause I
Honestly,
definitely
sometimes
have those
in the gym,
situations
in the
too.
gym sometimes. Like I could have done a lot more reps, to be honest. But why did I stop? I count to 12 reps. I don't, like, why do I stop at 12?
Right.
I could keep going. It's like a weird. It's mostly sometimes with the gym. Sometimes with the gym. Like, a lot of times I do pretty good, but it's also the times when I'm at home. You know, like I look back at the day. I'm like, I mean, that time when I scrolled, like I could have done something else, or I could have done this. Like, I'm really self-conscious about those types of moments
There
where,
you go.
you mean, I was either like mindless, or I did something random, or I just like I stand
You
there.
took away the time from what you were
It takes me
supposed to do.
it takes me so much time to get into something. Okay, I have to get the water bottle. Fill up the water bottle. Okay, now I have to piss. Okay, maybe check my phone a bit. Okay, now I'm on my phone for 10 minutes. I put my phone down. Okay, let's get into the thing. I open up YouTube. I close it. Okay, now let's get into the thing. Okay, I open up Discord. I check the Discord. It's like it's this
yeah,
thing
yeah.
of it's like weird. I sometimes I feel like I can't like get into something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
I
feel
don't know what that is, and
Procrastination.
maybe it
is
probably is.
procrastination.
Yeah, 100% is
It's
procrastination.
like a different variation. It's not you complaining about it, but you subconsciously making those decisions to, let me just check. I know exactly what it's like. I do the same thing sometimes. Usually the first thing I have to do, like when I open the computer, it's like, oh, should probably clean the pee-pee pad, you know?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I have,
Right?
there are some
Yeah,
other
yeah.
things. Fuck, I did forget my clothes. I need to put in the dryer or some shit like that.
Mhm.
And
Dude, I feel like I don't even have enough pressure either. Like sometimes, like I feel like some type of external pressure isn't good. Like pressure from other people, or pressure from pressure out of desperation is
Dude,
or
it's very good.
deficiency is not what.
It's very good. I said that kind of pressure.
What out of what
Like,
desperation?
yeah, dude. Like
Being
when
desperate?
you tell yourself at some point, like, I need to do it. Like when you're under the pressure of saying,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's really no way out of it, and I have to do it now.
Yeah.
When you're thinking, I'm living a decent lifestyle. Like, there's gonna be some people helping and stuff. As soon as you let that get in your head, like that's when you have to kick that thought out of your mind right away.
Mhm. Yeah, sometimes I feel like sometimes I look at some type of pressure from the outside can be bad. I feel like it's just like it's all unauthentic pressure. Inauthentic pressure
Right.
pushes you in a way that, for example, the school system pushes you in a certain way, gives you pressure that isn't really aligned to you, or your parents pressure you into something you didn't even want to do, things like that. But or even pressuring to compete with someone for something that really doesn't even matter, like things like that, for example, or I don't know.
So you don't like the external pressures, you're saying? you don't. It's not something that you want it to drive you.
I feel like the reason I procrastinate is because there's no like type of pressure at all. You know what I mean? It's just like I mean I can procrastinate.
So, like, you're
Then
saying
the
what's
opportunity.
what's the pressure that you want to have that you don't have?
I feel like I need to have like some type of internal pressure. You know what I mean? To
Okay.
kind of like I want to like
Is it financial pressure? What kind of pressure do you want?
pressure to like speed. Like I need to just keep doing things like instead of doing like random shit like going on the phone or
Okay.
opening up YouTube. It's just like it's so many random moments in my day that it's like what am I doing, right? I'm just prolonging the success. I don't know where I'm honestly going with this, but I kind
No,
of
I feel you.
that
I was like that when I was alone at home, dude. I was bored. I'd just be like doom scrolling. I'd be watching like 2 movies. Then one day before I had another practice, and dude, my like daily what's it called hours went up like really
Mhm.
high.
it's like for example my phone is it's so weird. It's like why am I so like attached to the phone? It's like I unconsciously just stand up, grab it, and then open it. It's really like it's like ingrained.
Throw it out the window.
I even tried putting it in the drawer, and then, like when I pull up on my computer, I have to write a script or something for a video. I'm just like, I get like, once the certain like resistance comes in, I'm like, let me grab my phone for inspiration. Like you mean I give like those types of excuses and stuff.
Okay.
But
You,
the main-
do you think it's because you started doing a lot of things with your phone, like a lot of electronic stuff? Meaning, like now you have your Discord, you have your YouTube,
I
you
have to post on Instagram. I have to go on Discord. I
Exactly.
have to answer people on Instagram, answer people on, like that type of stuff.
Okay.
But even that, it's like kind of an excuse. It's like, oh, while I'm on Instagram, I might as well scroll. I might as well see what's going on here real quick.
Okay.
And the whole point I'm trying to make is that I feel like I can do way more and stuff like that. It's like, do you guys ever have moments of?
See,
Yeah, I was when
you're
go ahead.
worrying about not having external pressure, but I think that's exactly what you do need
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have the internal pressure.
Because I feel like some
and
type
it's
of.
not your fault.
But I think.
It's not your fault. There are some people that have to wait for the next meal. That's their internal pressure. They have to do this. You say yourself, we have a blanket to lie back on. We have a
Mhm.
family. We have a house to live under. Of course, you can't always self-inflict that same type of pressure. So you should be looking more into the external pressures because that internal fire, yeah, you can have your purpose and everything, but that's not going to save you every time.
Mhm.
That's why I love the idea of competition. Just seeing that there's somebody out there doing better than you. Why? It's not luck.
But I don't
He
really.
is doing something that you're not,
Mhm.
and that's the truth. Or maybe it may be experience. If
Mhm.
someone's better than you in the same goal, there's a reason, and it's not luck.
Mhm.
Keep telling yourself it's luck, and you're gonna get nowhere.
Yeah,
It's hard
I
work,
think I need to
literally.
kind of just frame the goal in a type of way that does bring the pressure. Like, okay, since I want to start a movement, I need to fight. To get as many people on the movement as possible because it's either that or someone else is gonna, take them from me or something like that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, is there somebody else in the same field doing the
There's
same
plenty of
sector?
people always in every single field.
Beat them.
Mhm.
Beat them. How are you beating them?
And what type of way do you meet? How do you beat someone?
Outwork them.
Is it by numbers? Is it
Outwork
by?
'em.
I'll work them.
They're making 2 videos. You make 4.
Mhm.
They're sending 100 emails. You're doing 200. That's how you beat them.
What do I get when I win?
What?
What do I get when I win?
Self-fulfillment.
The thing is that when I compete in that
It's
type of
not
way, it's
beating
not.
them.
I don't get really fulfillment from the fact that I beat them.
You're
I
not-
get
you're
fulfillment
not
from the
beating
fact of the
them,
impact that I
But the
made.
idea that you went from 100 emails to 200 emails, and you're doing twice the work you were doing before, that's where you're going to get your fulfillment.
Mhm.
Looking back at you 2 months
It was
ago,
never even about a
2
competition.
months,
Then.
yeah. But that's what's going to fuel you to do that extra work. Or it may not.
For
just
you,
saying,
but inspire
I'm
maybe.
saying because what you're telling me, I have that idea. I have that same issue many times is prolonging and waiting and doing some shit that you know that's not probably going to help you.
Yeah.
You need to have to use the external circumstances, and that's not a bad thing
Mm-hmm.
as long as it pushes you toward the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Do you think
Just
some
don't get too
some
swarmed.
type of pressures or motivations are bad?
Look, there's a yin and yang to everything. Just utilize it to your best full advantage.
How?
You know the answer. I don't. That's an internal thing. Because competition to me is different to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it fuels me. It's not.
I think that's where competition kind of gets like you said. I feel like competition for me would be like, okay, I'm competing. Like I said, I'm competing to impact as many lives as possible. You know what I mean? But I'm not really competing against anyone. I'm competing against. It's like
You're competing against you.
You're doing
Yeah,
your own
exactly.
thing almost, right?
like I can't, like, for example, I can't imagine looking at someone else and like look at his race and be like, I can't really imagine that because I don't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? I really just don't give a fuck at all. You know what I mean? I really can't pull the fire from someone else. I gotta pull the fire from what I'm capable of doing. You know what I mean? Because then I'm not capped. I'm not capped of trying to beat him, but I'm capped at the impact I'm trying to make. The limitless potential. You know what I mean?
So you're not
kinda
motivated if
understand
you
what
see
you're saying.
somebody doing 4 videos a day and you're doing 2?
Because it doesn't matter.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
How does
Because
it-
now there's more does not always equal better.
in most cases, but what is the
I
odds?
mean, if it was like sport, sure,
What?
but I think he's right. Like in
What?
the videos, it's not like that. If I post 4 videos,
No, I
doesn't
say
mean
it's-
I'm
Oh,
outworking
again, it's how you
because-
do it, of course. Of
Quality.
course, quality.
Because like I said,
But-
if I have 10,000 subscribers, if me and you have 10,000 subscribers, right, and you get all your subscribers from short form, I get all my subscribers from long form, what is do you think like what better quality is there? Type of people and like type of
No, I see what you're saying, but your competition is long form, right? There are
Mhm.
other people in long form. Let's say they're making 4 videos a day compared to you doing 2.
Mhm.
That should motivate you to do more.
Do you ever?
And if it's not, I
you-
mean, it's not necessarily alarming, but I mean, you're behind the game.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, you want to get better.
In society's terms, yeah.
It's not even society's terms.
Yes, it is.
Why not?
It's all a matrix.
What?
It's a matrix. Like it built up. It's a game of the society. Because
What?
at the end of the day, if you take a step back, it really doesn't matter at all.
What does? What does?
It doesn't. The game of society, people's status, and
I mean, working your fullest potential. I mean,
Mhm.
it's not a game of status to me.
it's not.
It's not.
Mhm.
This guy pushing out 4 videos. I'm going back to the same reference. Pushing out 4 videos and not prolonging his success. Fuck the status. I mean, that guy is just simply going to be better off,
Mhm.
more fulfilled because he's not being lazy.
Mhm.
I mean, that's the difference. If I'm not
The
mistaken.
thing is, if I do look at someone, right, it's like maybe I could take some inspiration from that. I don't wanna compete with someone out of desperation, but inspiration, right? I look at it's like, wow, it's like, what if I'm capable of doing? You mean 4 videos a day, something
Yeah,
like that?
That's
You know what I
exactly
mean?
what it's meant to be.
But it's not in a way to beat them. It's a way to kind of see the growth, the impact in other
Like
people's
learn
lives
from
that
them?
he can make.
Yeah.
kind of.
What?
Yeah,
Like
that's
learn
still
from
that's
them?
still
Yeah,
competition.
learning from
yeah.
them.
That's still competition.
But I don't look at it as a way to
Different
beat
variation.
someone, because
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
at the end of the day, it's like to beat someone is
But
like
at some
almost
point,
like
you do have to look at it
In
that
a
way.
game
though.
of business, that's all it is.
That's what I'm saying. I
You
do
have to be
I
that.
compete in a different way. I look at it a different way.
Mhm.
Do you think he's not looking at it in a business perspective? Because that's what
Yeah.
I've noticed.
Yeah.
He's not looking at it in a business perspective. That's why. Which,
Is that a
which
bad
nothing
thing?
is wrong with. Nothing's wrong with it. But at some point, if you
I'd
want
say-
that to be
well-
a business, you
Mhm.
have to like build that mindset.
Yeah.
It's nothing is necessarily wrong with it, but if you truly want to have successful business, then yes.
hmm
Because Jeff Bezos isn't saying I don't want to beat my competitors, and that's the top of the line.
It's same thing in sports,
That's
too,
a
you know?
same outlier. Yeah, there's not a single top athlete that's not like I don't want to beat these guys. You know.
Yeah,
just
like
friends.
I could
You
have a
have to
friend,
have that,
and then
and it's not.
outside of the mat, we're friends. We hug and everything. But once we step on that mat, we're enemies because we only have one thing in there is to win,
hmm
to beat each other. You know, come out as a winner. But outside of the mat, we're friends. We're not gonna be disrespectful. Nothing. I mean, obviously on the mat, we're not gonna be disrespectful either. But that's the way of competition.
Like,
and
think
that's the way
about
of
it.
Sport.
It's not even the sake of winning. It's we're pushing each other to get better.
hmm
That's what competition is all about. That's what it's supposed to do. As long as you don't let ego go outside your
Yep.
It's not about
way.
beating a person. It's about seeing what you both are capable of.
pushing each other.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
By competing to
And
see
if
what
you
you both
don't
are
have that
capable of.
competition, you see that I'm going back to the same reference again. If someone's pushing out 4 videos, that should tell you, this guy is doing more than me. That means I'm capable of it. If he can do it, why can't I?
hmm No, I agree with that.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of the competition.
Mhm.
This guy's training 3 times a week. Why can't I?
Mhm.
You can.
I just don't see
can.
fulfillment from beating someone. It's not about that. It's not about
Maybe you don't. Maybe because like you haven't really like played a sport where you beat someone and then
Mhm.
fulfillment you get. Is like I mean,
the thing is,
that's just what I think. I think that's why
I
maybe
played
you don't have
sports all the way up to freshman year of high school. Like since I was like little. I mean, I played baseball, soccer, basketball. I played football and stuff like that.
that, and you didn't get that fulfillment when you beat someone. Maybe
Like,
you don't, but I
What
mean,
if it
it's
was
weird,
your
you know?
approach?
What?
what if it was your approach? I know, I remember I had that. I didn't have that mindset either, where like, oh, I wanted to beat somebody. But then the type of sport that I did, it is really a lot about
Like for example,
beating
I'd
the
get it
person,
mostly
so-
from like soccer. Like when I was like 12, 13, or playing like Crusoe, like intramural soccer.
Right.
Like we'd be up in the thing and it'd be like I'd get this like I'd feel so good like just playing, being able to like, I don't know. It wasn't from a place of looking at the other opponent and be like, yeah, I'm gonna win against you, but from a place of, wow, I can't wait to see like what this is gonna turn out to be. It's like, I don't know. I look at it from
No, that's not bad. It's not bad. Don't think it's bad. However, just remember
Mhm.
that discover the answer within yourself and understand that competitive edge to you, it will always better you in some way.
Mhm.
Because competition has to be there. And maybe, what if you have a wrong understanding of what competition is? And in your eyes, competition is always beating somebody and always trying to look down at somebody after beating them. Why does it have to be that? Why can't it just be the competition of you guys pushing each other, but it's really about who pushes harder?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's like going against each other. He pushes you, you push him. But at the end, the winner comes out whoever pushes harder. Not necessarily because, I'm looking down at this person because I'm better. No, it's not. It doesn't have to be like that. All it has to be is you had more in you, you had more fire in you, and you wanted it more. Therefore, you pushed more. That's one thing that you will see in sports. I mean, even in judo and stuff, it's a one-on-one battle, right? I'm tired, so is the other guy. Whoever wants it better and whoever wants it more is the person that's gonna win, because that's the person that's gonna like win over themselves first, and then the opponent is just a byproduct of the winning. So
Can I use an example? So when I played soccer, whenever we played an extremely fast kid, I always on purposely made myself try to get in a race with him. Like on person, I would orient myself, like position myself, in a way that I'm telling him, go challenge me, push myself, and that's the fastest I would ever run. Just like that reference with the track, if you're the fastest guy in the track, and you'll probably run a 9.5, right? That's just a number. But if you're the slowest person, like you do that same, you're the same speed and everything, but you're the slowest person, you'll actually run a 9.4. You'll run faster.
Mhm.
But because you were the last person, you pushed yourself more than when you were the best. And that was the same example in soccer. It was never for the sake of beating that guy in the race, but to test my capability of running. And on top of that, if
And
I were
push
to
yourself
lose,
more, right?
push myself. And two, if I were to lose, you know what that happens?
Mhm.
I have to fucking work harder. And I'd work on my speed. And that was it. It was never about beating that person. It's about what could I learn from that. And that's what competition's all about, not beating him. I think he is right. You have the wrong misconception of what competition's all about.
Mhm.
And
So that's what I thought it was about, just trying to win against the other person, like defeating the other person. I mean,
the only thing is, everybody gets defeated at some point. You have competition whether you want to say it or not. So do I. So does Josh. So does Georgie. They get defeated with your performance. It doesn't necessarily have to be you wanting to defeat them. Your work defeats them. So you defeat somebody at some point of life, whether that be on YouTube or whatnot. Like, you're just gonna outwork them. You might not have that in your head, but you're doing it, bro. I mean, life is competition. The fact that you're working hard and somebody else isn't is already a competition itself.
Mhm.
So you are having a competition with a lot of people, whether you want it or not. So might as well already have the mindset that you are in a competition, because then you're able to acknowledge what it is that you're competing for. But
I have a question. Do you hate when someone outworks you?
in what type of way?
Let's say we did push-ups right now and you did 25 and I could rock out 40.
does that bother you?
No.
It should.
Why?
Dude, you want to be better. Better means that you're stronger than yourself too. I mean, the fact that you're able to do 25 and I did 50, why should I do 50 and instead of you doing 50 or 60?
Mhm.
Why shouldn't you do more than me? Do you know what I'm trying? Why shouldn't you be stronger than me?
Mhm.
it's a good thing to have. Because that
In
gives
life,
you
you-
that
'cause you
gives you
always
an
compete in
understanding
life,
that
you know
you're
what I mean?
weaker than the person. Why should you be weaker than anybody? You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing to at the moment to think, because here's the thing: there's an unhealthy competition. I used to do that as a kid too. When you're not able to control how you compete with people, that competition of how dare that person being weaker than me and stuff, you get the frustration out on them instead of on yourself to an extent, and tell yourself that I need to push myself. Rather, you get mad about the fact that the other person's stronger, but then you're not thinking in reality that that person is just training harder than you. So what you need to do is train harder than them. And that's the kind of fire. Like I think it's a good thing to have. I mean, why should anybody be stronger and better than you? You know what I mean? Don't you want to be the better than a lot of people? I think there's a healthy way of looking at it.
The thing is, when I see, for example, because everyone's stories are different. Everyone started from a different origin. Everyone started from different times. Everyone's does different things. Like, you know what I mean? It's like everyone's running like their own race. You know what I mean? Everyone has their own journey, and it's really hard for me to compare myself to someone or see someone else's success. You mean I would see someone else's success and be like, and kind of congratulate them and not look at it a way of, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain.
Yeah, I understand. Maybe are you not prioritizing your physical strength? Is that why?
What do you mean?
Are you not prioritizing being stronger than somebody in the room? Let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why you don't really care? Because I do understand, like, if there's somebody better than me in something that I don't really care much about, I'm not gonna put in a competition with them.
I think that's
I'm
what
like,
makes
you're
sense.
running
Like,
that
push-up, for
race that
example,
I'm
like, I
not.
don't really care about push-ups.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what is a good example to use?
Okay,
Like,
what do you
I think,
care
for
the
example,
most?
Impact. The impact on people's lives. How many people's lives I can.
What can they physically
Influence.
do though?
What?
Impact is something that it's not fully in your control.
Mm-hmm.
What is something that you can control? Like how many push-ups you can do is in your control.
Mm-hmm.
What is something that you care about that is in your control?
I mean, subscribers. Is that a thing for you?
That's out of
I
your
can't
control.
control that.
What?
You can't control that.
Well, but I mean, at the same time, you can though, right? Because like the quality content you put out,
You
the
can,
work.
but at the end of the day,
Like, we
whether
were
you-
talking about this kind of thing,
two
right?
people
Ready?
can-
I'm doing 25 push-ups. I'm doing 50. Mike's doing 25. Now, I'm double as strong as Mike, right? Like, realistically, by the numbers. So what he needs to go do is, when he goes home and stuff every morning, maybe wake up and do 25 push-ups every single day, and then a month later go like, yo, so let's get down, let's do push-ups. If you do 35 and I do 55, that's like getting closer to my results. That I only grew by 5, you grew by 10. That's competition right there. That means your competition is growing faster than mine, and then slowly you will catch up. Then you will understand that maybe you need to do, more than 50 push-ups each day to get stronger and stuff. That's one way you can get stronger. That type of work.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
So can you think of something in your control that you
Um,
care about?
Probably how much I can learn. How much things I can kind of learn, I guess.
How can you measure that?
Probably can't, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Pick something that's
Why can't you?
more exact.
What? Measure how
Okay.
much you
Well,
can
learning
learn?
is a broad thing. Like, learn what exactly?
Read more books than other people.
Yeah.
Get the knowledge from
What
the
was
books.
the question?
Well, what is something that you care about? Like you said, you don't really care push-ups. That is in your control and that can be measured.
Mhm.
Because I want to provide an example, and I really want to understand where all this is coming from. Help you,
Something that I can control.
and that you care about.
I mean, all my habits that I do, right?
How can that be measured?
Like, what do you mean by measure? I don't know.
You can measure how many push-ups someone can do. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is very difficult. difficult.
Yeah,
but,
something with the numbers. Like, I
I mean, usually. It has
do you know
to be
anybody
something
that
fitness.
maybe benches more than you, squats
Well,
more than
but
you?
What
Yeah.
what fitness-wise do you care about?
Do I care about?
Yeah.
I care about. Because the numbers don't really matter at the end of the day because people's physiques are different. I would say, I don't know. Because even if someone runs longer than you, that really doesn't really matter because it's not like. Because everyone's bodies are different, kind of. I don't know. Maybe. maybe by the way how good you look, maybe aesthetically. And you can't measure that really, right?
Because that's also
Running is a good thing. Like, just pick something and compete with somebody, just for the sake of competition. Pick something and try to beat them. And then just observe yourself on what happens through that competition. Do you want to quit, or do you want to keep going? What kind of fire do you have looking at somebody else and you wanting to be better than them? Nothing's wrong with it, dude.
We were competing
Trust
today. Me, Sadullah, and Ruslan. We were competing against each other. Not like intentionally, but we were. We were in the sauna. We had to be there for 15 minutes. And Ruslan sitting there saying, George, and I was like dying. I was asking Sadullah every single like 2 minutes. I'm like, dude, what time is it? Ruslan's telling me this. I mean, he's my up in that situation. Who's going to stay there longer? He's telling me, Georgie, you have free will. You can just get up and leave. Because I was just standing near the door. I would just get up and just walk around in the steam room. And he was like kind of tempting me to leave. But I wasn't planning on, I wasn't going to leave because I knew that I would be the quitter and those two would be the winners. The moment whoever stepped outside of the door, even though they probably wouldn't complete that 15-minute mark, but they would still beat me. So I didn't want that.
Georgie, that is not healthy competition.
That is healthy competition if you ask
You're putting
me.
your heart in fucking danger.
No, I mean,
Not to the point where I'm like passing out, but
it wasn't like if I feel like I'm putting my health in danger,
think about it.
I won't do it. But
Soccer is the same thing. You might be like you're like what's it called, having a race with someone and you get tired, but you're still pushing to get that ball, like risking.
Your heart's
it.
pumping.
You're
You're gonna have a heart attack.
But
it's
the
a
steam room
competition.
after a long time is very unhealthy for you.
What?
But we weren't there for that type of
Yeah,
time
but we
where
were
it
doing
was
like
gonna harm
15
us.
minutes. But it was like a healthy
15 minutes in
competition.
the steam room is still unhealthy.
Also depends on
But-
how do you get, like, you have to work your way up to it to the point where if you're on the same
Yeah, I
level as
think
the
we
other
did
person,
little
then it's a
unhealthy. We
competition.
just went
It's
like
like
15 minutes right now.
if I can only stay in the steam room for 5 minutes and I'm trying to compete with somebody that can be there for 30 minutes easily, and I know this, and I'm trying to, put my health in danger for that, then that's not too smart. But if you're on the same level with somebody and it's like minute by minute who gets out first, then
Look, as long as you guys want to.
But here's one thing.
You want to do that challenge?
Yeah,
You can do
exactly.
that.
Oh yeah, we're not like that.
Got it,
Plus,
15
it was
minutes.
more like a time thing. It wasn't like, I don't know if I would do this with anybody, especially in the steam room or the sauna, saying, "Yo, the last one to leave loses." I don't know if I would do that. I would probably be like, "All right, let's challenge ourselves and like let's see if we can stay here for 5-10 minutes." That I'm good with. However,
why
I don't
not? Why
like the
not?
idea of
I would do
I don't
it.
like the idea of who's gonna stay in the sauna the longest.
Let you pass
Because-
out first.
Exactly. I wouldn't personally do that.
Would you do it? Would you do
Dylan
that?
and you did a neck?
Did we?
Do you not remember?
No, it was in.
Oh, you were shit talking. What?
No, when?
In the sauna.
Yo, Mike was
In the
talking
neck.
shit.
Oh, I can
Remember how
totally see
competitive
that.
When the
Remember?
sauna?
Yeah, me, you, and Dylan. Me, you, and Dylan. Do you not remember?
No, I don't. But I probably
No?
have like a. mission
Come on.
with it.
Come
Was it?
on.
Was it in the big sauna?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how many saunas there are. Not the one outside. The one inside.
Mm-hmm.
Me, you, and Dylan. In the sauna.
I don't remember it, but
No.
I kind of like.
No, this guy, he was doing that same tactical warfare. He's like, it's okay to leave.
No, because I was
Like-
I was joking. I was like, we're gonna done. I was like, last one to leave wins. And he's like, fuck off. Yeah.
Exactly. And when you can see that you're getting into somebody's head, the more you're pushing them to leave because the faster you win. So we all have that in us, whether we want to admit it or not. You do. The only thing is just face it, acknowledge it, and just have a competition with somebody about something.
I think it was
Maybe-
fun
maybe
though.
start
I
a
think it was
competition
funny
with
the
somebody.
sauna today.
About push-ups or whatnot, and just tell them maybe every month. Just go like, yo, so ready, you compete with somebody in push-ups, right? And a month later, practice doing push-ups, and then go like, yo, let's compete again. And then see how close you're getting to their level. Because if somebody can beat you now, doing 50 push-ups, let's say, and doesn't do push-ups, but you do double, I'm telling you, you will eventually get to their level super fast. Because you're putting the extra work, they're not. So imagine somebody growing really slow versus you growing faster because of the double work. So just imagine it like that, and eventually you will beat people that you wouldn't think you would beat.
No,
And it doesn't have to
The
be,
first couple
yeah.
thoughts that came on mind when you said that was just, it's pointless.
Right.
I don't know
'Cause
why.
maybe-
Those are
maybe
just
you
the
see
thoughts
it,
that popped
yeah,
up in my mind.
yeah.
Just, I feel
You're
like,
neglecting it.
Mike,
What do you mean?
me and you.
I think you're neglecting it. In my
Let's
opinion.
talk
What,
about it after.
competition?
Let's talk
Yeah.
about it after.
Yeah,
'Cause
maybe.
I really
yeah.
want to diverge and dive into this.
It's not a bad conversation on the podcast.
It's not. But I could really continue to do this for another hour, and I don't want
Let's
this
do
to be
it.
an hour
I'm down.
45.
The reason I brought up competition was because he's in a competition. You guys
Right.
kept bringing up competition, so
Right.
I was just curious on what you guys wanted to know about my point of view on
Yeah.
it.
No, it's very good that you shared that. Because I feel like you have that competition, you're neglecting
He's
it.
suppressing
You're
it.
silent.
It's hard for me
suppressing
to.
it.
It really is hard for me to bring it out because it just seems I don't know. Just to me, just I look at it and it just feels empty.
You suck.
It doesn't matter.
You suck.
Mike, it's a better thing than not though to have that where you don't take it so deep in your heart. At the same time, make sure you don't suppress it because it's also very important. And
suck.
especially as a man, you need it, bro.
Yeah.
You need it as a man, in my opinion.
That's
What
why I feel like
competition
I
is
need,
gonna
I,
take
need,
your
I, need,
girl,
I
Mike?
need a good amount of it too as well. That's why I
suck.
asked these types of questions.
Mike,
I mean,
someone's gonna
where-
take
would
your
it matter?
girl.
How does
Another
When
that
someone
make
man.
you-
says you
How
suck,
does
it's
that
just
make you
Yeah,
feel?
exactly. It doesn't make me.
Doesn't
it doesn't matter.
No.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You suck.
It doesn't matter, dude.
Yeah, Mike, someone else is gonna take your girl, man. That's
have a girl, bro.
competition. When
I
you're
mean,
gonna
but
have
But
one.
this
you
is
are competing for your wife right now.
Yo, this
I
is
agree, yeah.
this is the one thing, all right?
I don't know.
This is the one thing that I have. When somebody tells me that kind of thing, like, "Oh, you suck," that kind, it's not gonna affect me. But there's also levels to it. Like, if they're really trying to challenge me in something, I'm not gonna say it's pointless, because I'll prove them that I'm
sucks?
better,
Yeah.
or I'll try to be better than them. You know what I mean? If somebody keeps on bugging me, telling me, "Oh yeah, like I'm better than you," I'm better. Like maybe I'll ignore it once, twice, 3 times. I'll be like, "Yo, dude, let's go." You know what I mean? Like you can just
Let's
say,
see who
"Oh
sucks
yeah,
now."
no, we're good. Like I'm not gonna wrestle you, whatever." But because there's been a lot of scenarios where some people just,
They just talk.
'cause obviously, some of them don't know that I wrestled. Some of them can't tell I wrestled, whatnot, whatever. And then they just go, "Yo, I really want to wrestle you," or whatever. Or here's the thing, right? I'm not gonna mention the name, but there's a guy in our gym and stuff, and he would sometimes be like, "Yeah, I think I can beat Sadula and all that kind of stuff."
I know who
So
it is.
yeah, and then
Oh,
I would believe you couldn't, right? Now, if I just had to rely on my belief and stuff, what would be the point of that? So part of me was just like, let me just give him a quick reality check. He probably doesn't know who he's messing with. So I'm like, all right, dude, let's go wrestle. I took him down in seconds, like twice, 3 times, and then you could see through his face. He's like, yeah, I just actually didn't even think anything like that. So sometimes that type of thing happens too, where it's like sometimes you don't have to let things slide at the same time. You know what I mean? Like why let somebody look down on you when you can also just give them a quick reality check?
And it's not bad. It's not
And sometimes
bad.
it's really effortless,
It's
dude.
necessary.
Doesn't take much work.
Why do they have to think less about you? Why do they have to think that you're a weak man? Show them that you're a strong man.
You don't have to show them anything.
Why do you have to prove something to them?
You don't.
Well,
You don't.
like what Sadula was saying, if they're gonna keep on saying some stuff about you, like, "Oh, I think I can beat you. I think I can beat you," like show them who's gonna be who's gonna win in that competition that they're challenging you in.
I ain't gonna lie.
I think it's healthy,
I did
dude.
disagree with that one.
You could
Well,
disagree with that.
Yeah, I mean, fuck
Yeah.
them. Who cares what they think? You know what you're capable of. I mean, they tell you that you can beat you in wrestling. You know you can beat them.
Right.
At the end of the day, that's all that matters. But
I think it
your
goes both ways,
message
though.
is
I think
like-
you could
What?
could let it go,
Look,
and
you could.
sometimes you could.
I'm saying you don't have to prove
There's a
anybody
time. There's a
anything.
time to let it go. There's
Right.
some time where you just when you feel like doing it. Like I
Look,
felt like
if,
wrestling.
If
You know what I mean?
could let it go every time, you should do it.
Yeah, of course. That's why I said
Yeah.
when it happens once, twice, 3 times, and that kind of stuff, and you're like, yeah, dude. I mean, look, I wrestle, whatever, all that kind of stuff. But if they want to do it, it's also just the fact that you guys wrestle. You're friends, you wrestle, all that kind of stuff. It's also fun, but at the same time, it's competition. You know what I mean? If it was just the fact that, because there are some people like that too I've come across, especially in the sport like this. You beat them every time on the practice, dude. They will come back and smack talk you that they're still stronger than you. Those are the type of people that are just trying to get in your head and trying to tell you something that is not true, right? Now that kind of competition, when you're competing against that type of person,
You're wasting
you
your
shouldn't.
time,
You're
right?
wasting your energy and stuff for what? But then there are people that you actually like genuinely enjoy wrestling with, competing with. That's a healthy competition right there. Because, as a man, it takes balls to admit that somebody's better than you. And you have to be able to do that. You have to be able to say, okay, you're better than me, sure. But I'm going to work hard to catch up to you or be better than you. You know what I mean? So when you have that perspective, then competition doesn't really become negative at all. All right,
Yes,
let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anything
So-
you wanted to say, Mike?
No.
All right, you
Yeah,
sure?
Actually, here, I have a good question for Georgie. Your final question for this. What's one piece of advice you give to anyone considering to go out of their comfort zone, go to another country? What's the piece of advice you have for them?
That's the advice I would give them. Get out of their comfort zone, and
What steps should they
but why
take? How about
do it?
that?
what should-
Why do it? Why even get out of the comfort zone?
I think it challenges you and it shows who you really are. Because yeah, sure, you're stepping out of the comfort zone and you're like getting you're getting uncomfortable with you're being comfortable with wait no how is that?
When you're stepping out, you're getting uncomfortable. Yes.
Yeah, you're getting uncomfortable with it, right? But at the same time, when you know that, like for example, I wasn't getting out of my comfort zone because I knew that I thought that I couldn't go there and be there by myself, right? But I did. What's it called? I now I know that I was able to do that. So when you get out of your comfort zone, then you actually like kind of prove to yourself that you could do whatever you wanted to do, by getting out of the comfort zone. So for example, if you're
Unlocking your potential.
unlocking your potential, yeah, that's the way to put it.
Okay.
Is that a good answer? Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I want you to do the quote of the fucking day.
You're the
it's
guest.
Quote of the fucking
right?
day.
Yeah, he remembers. He remembers.
Why worry?
Oh.
If you have done your best you can, worrying won't make it any better. If you want to be successful,
Respect.
repeat
Respect,
one.
repeat,
Yeah.
fuck.
Repeat one rule. Never let
Fear.
fear. Wait, is that family?
Fear,
Yeah.
fear take control.
Fear
of you.
take control of you.
No, I'm sorry. Never let failures.
Failures take
It's just
control of you.
Fucking erase.
Yeah,
Dude,
dude,
I
it's
don't know why
literally
you
erased.
Never let failures take control of you.
Yeah.
And
Why-
that's by Leonardo DiCaprio.
Nice.
And
Why
I think
worry?
It's beautiful.
If you've done your best, you
It's
can
the whole thing
worrying
is,
until you make
this
it
is,
any.
again,
better.
actually, it's funny enough. Very similar to competition itself.
Right.
It's not if like you said, 50 push-ups and 25 push-ups. Like example, you being able to do 35, you did the best you can, and that guy did 55 when he could have done 60. You have the benefit of doubt. Why worry that you lost if you did the best you fucking can? That's all that matters. Like the same thing is like the subscribers. Why worry how many subscribers you have if you did the best you fucking can? If you know you could not have worked any harder, fuck the numbers. You should be as proud as you possibly can.
Oh yeah, that's
the
also
whole
one thing
point.
I want to mention. Going to the training camp, there were people. So we had to run like that would be like 8 miles in time. So like there was a time that we had to better. So our coach would be timing us how many minutes he would need us to run 8 miles, right? And then some people didn't improve. You know, we had that training three times. Yeah, 3 times in 10 days. Some improved, some didn't. Right? So I improved. For example, I improved for I ran faster, but by a minute. But you only ran by 30 seconds, right? You see the difference. Who improved more? Like there was a lot of people, yeah, that were like faster than me and that were better than me. But did they improve throughout that camp, or did I improve more throughout the camp? That was the
Right.
whole competition there. So you have to always think of that. You have
That's-
to compute yourself.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Shout
And
out.
shout out. I genuinely think this is my favorite.
Go for it. It's
Yeah,
yours.
look-
Favorite one I've got so far, and that's because that's something I respect so much.
Me too.
It's by Shannon4043 on YouTube. Thank you for the comment. I'm 36 and in business school, and enjoyed listening to you guys. I'm glad I'm not too small-minded to believe I can't learn from the younger generation.
Amazing.
And wow, what a shot for so many people. How many hearts must be broken to see something like that? How many people can't do that?
Yeah.
Just, I don't want to.
Yeah, you'd
watch.
be surprised.
Like, just think about it. Like, think about when
What
you're
could
gonna
they
turn
teach me? You know, they're
36 and,
younger.
like,
What could they
I'm
teach
fucking
me?
18 years old. Fuck these dudes. Why should I listen? In fact, that's just so much respect.
Yeah.
Because I am a believer
That's literally
that
putting ego on the side.
everybody can learn something from anybody in the world.
Yes.
Something.
Always.
There's not a single person in this entire world that you can learn nothing from. So take something away from every conversation. Try to, when you get in something, when you talk to somebody,
Even if they're younger than you. or
figure something out that you didn't know before. Because I promise you, whether it might be the stupidest thing in the fucking world, maybe it be that frogs can jump with 2 legs, not 4. That's complete bullshit, I'm guessing. I'm just making something up. That's still learning something new.
Exactly, right? Yeah. Always being open-minded to new knowledge, no matter where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I struggle with this. I'm very, very open about that. But seeing stuff like that, it's like,
Just gives
He's
you
fucking
better,
right.
yeah.
like I gotta
Gotta
step
do
it
better,
up.
right?
Respect.
Gotta step
Gotta-
it up.
yeah,
the comment.
respect.
Healthy competition. He can do it. Why can't I? He can do it.
You can do what?
Why can't I?
What did he do?
Be open-minded. Why can't I?
You can.
I can. He inspired me
It's a
to.
competition.
Healthy competition.
Was that competition though?
Yes.
Was it just inspiration?
That's still competition.
It is.
I'm
It is
fucking-
more inspiration.
It's
Yeah.
more
I'm
inspiration,
confused.
but it's still competition.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Yes.
All right. Hope you guys
I'm
enjoyed
back.
the episode.
Back again.
Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now-
Yeah,
now-
yeah.
I
Back
actually
again.
missed this. Yeah.
I don't know if it is inspiration. I'll have to think about that one. I might be wrong with that.
We'll drop
Fuck
an
it.
episode.
We'll drop, yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Yo, Sasha, let me know how I did the intro, bro.
If he
All right.
Let's
watches,
see if he
Yeah.
watched this part.
Let's see if he
Let's
watches this
Let's
part.
test him.
Yo, I just tested his fruits.
Yo, did you see our message in the
Yeah,
video?
spam Georgie's bag. If you spam it 5 times, we'll give you a lollipop.
Yo.
All right, with that, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
George, you remember?
Think big,
Grow
grow
big.
big.
Peace.
Yo.